What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're doing part 3 of Larry Bird Beyond the Glory basketball documentary. We did part 1 and 2. I'll put those in the description if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I've been loving this documentary, even though we've seen a lot of clips before. But I will watch Larry Bird over and over. I don't care. Y'all put me onto him, and he's just amazing. So, yeah, let's just get into it. Let's go.
Take a vow. Indiana has a new state bird.
I mean, we'd watched them all year long coming along, and we kind of thought, well, as soon as they get to the tournament, then we'll find out the real thing. And somehow they just kept winning.
In the semifinals of the NCAA tournament, Indiana State defeated DePaul 76-74. Then, in television's highest-rated final, Bird led the #1 ranked 33-0 Sycamores against Michigan State and his future nemesis.
Magic couldn't wait to give you the best smile and say, how are you, make you feel good. Larry Bird would rather say, don't even say hi to me. I'd rather not get involved with this.
I did not like Larry Bird. He didn't like me. Not because, something happened, but because we were both going after the same thing.
Overmatched by the larger, more talented Spartans, Indiana State lost 75-64 as Bird was frustrated by a collapsing defense. Committing 6 turnovers, he shot 7 of 21 and scored 19 points to Magic's 24.
It was frustrated.
They'll always be linked, won't they? And that's part of the beauty of sports. From that 79 NCAA championship, it's pretty hard to say Larry Bird without thinking of Magic Johnson.
Winning College Player of the Year, Bird finished his career as the 5th all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I history.
Dang.
While awaiting the outcome of contract negotiations.
Did you just say 5th in history? Dang, that's tough. Golly, dude. What do you have, 25 points a game or something like that, maybe? That's tough.
Player of the Year, Bird finished his career as the 5th all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I history.
Damn.
Awaiting the outcome of contract negotiations, he visited Boston.
He came to a game, and everybody started standing up, clapping, and I'm thinking, like, what in the hell is going on here? This guy didn't even play the game. They don't even know what he's about, but they just think that, he's going to be the difference.
June 8, 1979, Bird officially landed in Boston and signed the NBA's richest rookie contract ever, $3.25 million over 5 years.
Oh, dang, that's good back then. Golly. I didn't realize it was back then.
I never dreamed that Larry Bird was that good a defensive player. I never dreamed that Larry Bird was that good a rebounder. And I never dreamed that he was that good a passer. I also didn't know that he would always play hurt.
After watching him play, I said, somebody went into a cave in French Lick, Indiana, found this cake of ice, started chipping away, and I popped this prehistoric...
Hold up. Tom Heinsohn? I'm thinking John and Heisenberg, but Heinsohn? 10 NBA titles with the Celtics? Who the fuck is this guy? Or, excuse my language. Who the crap is this guy? Like, who is this? He's got 10 titles?
French Lick, Indiana, found this cake of ice, started chipping away, and I popped this prehistoric old-time basketball player. He played like the old-timers played, with his head.
With the 6'9" Bird at forward, the Celtics were reborn. Raising their victories from 29 to 61 in a single season, they reached the 1980 Eastern Finals. Bird averaged 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists to beat Magic for Rookie of the Year honors. Over the next decade,
I beat him at rookie?
their rivalry
Nice.
would charge the league with new life.
Hold up.
When Larry Bird and Magic Johnson entered the NBA in the fall of 1979, the league was in trouble. The finals were not televised in prime time. Part of the reason was image.
There were articles during that time, is the NBA too black? I think there were issues. The Knicks had an all-black team. That didn't sit too well with some people.
If you asked me then, I would say the NBA would have folded by now. Because in the 70s, you could have bought any team, man. Any of those teams for less than 500,000. Few teams were making money.
Dang, dude. Imagine if you'd have bought one of those and just waited.
It turned around when we drafted Larry Bird. Here he came.
Holy crap, dude. I didn't realize it was that bad. I mean, I know it said it was cocaine addiction and all that stuff. I know it's talking about there's too many black players, which is stupid. Don't bring race into it, but I mean, I understand what they're saying, you know. But I didn't realize that you could literally buy a team for like $500,000. Because if I had the money, I would have done it. Not knowing that it's going to be worth like 2.5 billion now, but geez, I didn't realize it was that bad. I know they were tape delayed the finals, which is stupid. By the way, that's stupid. But I didn't realize it was that bad. Anyway,
Black team. That didn't sit too well with some people.
If you asked me then, I would say the NBA would have folded by now. Because in the 70s, you could have bought any team, man. Any of those teams for less than 500,000. Few teams were making money.
Jeez.
No major sponsors.
Athletically, it turned around when we drafted Larry Bird. Here he came, quote unquote, the savior. It so happened this guy's white, East Boston, South Boston, people could relate to him. And, Larry Bird is a great white hope.
The racial component of that was so powerful. Bird was the first great white ball player in a number of years. Playing for Boston, a town which had a terrible reputation for race relations going back.
I guess race did have something to do with it. If they're talking like this, like the Great White Hope and all this stuff, so maybe it did have a little bit something to do with it. It was the first great white player in a long time to come in and save the NBA. So I guess it does have something to do with it. I just don't like putting race into anything because we're all equal. But I understand what they're saying.
Playing for Boston, a town which had a terrible reputation for race relations going back to the busing crisis of the 70s.
White people who have seen black people dominate basketball for so long are heartened to see Larry Bird out there able to compete. Larry
Makes sense.
gave
Makes
some
sense.
people who are maybe more narrow-minded about it a reason to watch the NBA again and feel good about themselves.
Here he was out there with a quarter of black guys out there talking trash with him, and the rest of the fellas are sitting there going, hey, the boy bad, what can you say?
Exactly.
And I think what America saw in this guy was somebody who really didn't see race.
When I was in the 7th, 8th grade,
I love it.
we always had this basketball court there that a lot of the guys that worked at the hotel would be over there, and they always let me play in their games. They were all black players. Every time I got off that bus, it seemed like they were waiting on me to get there. So when I started playing basketball, whether it be college or pros, I always felt like I fit in.
Nice.
Two people so matched came along at the same time. And of course, there was the black-white thing. And of course, that's what fascinated everybody. And not just the black-white thing, but the white country boy, black city boy.
Both of those men brought an unselfishness,
Pat Riley, baby.
Attitude and equality to the
Good
league
coach.
that began to become contagious.
We started getting tons and tons of coverage.
Oh, Dennis
we went from
Johnson.
Playing late night on TV to playing prime time.
These two guys generate huge television revenues and start the process of resuscitating the NBA from a league that was hemorrhaging money in many cities to a league that could start to garner big contracts from the television networks.
That's awesome. I know it sucks that it's all about money, but it has to be. If you think about it, because if it's not about money, they can't pay the players. They can't pay them like anything. They pay them like, if they were hurting so bad, they'd pay them like $100,000 a year instead of millions a year like they do now. It sucks that it has to be that way, but I understand what they're coming from. Is Larry and them saved that. They started getting more sponsors and all this stuff, so you can pay players more. So it started getting to where they're making enough money to do that, which is freaking awesome. But yeah, I hate the fact that it's about money, but it has to be if it's on TV, and you got to pay the players somehow. You can't just pull that money out of your ass, That's pretty cool.
Process of resuscitating the NBA from a league that was hemorrhaging money in many cities to a league that could start to garner big contracts from the television networks.
If the highly charged court dynamics of Bird and Magic ignited the NBA's resurgence in the early 80s, it was the competitive tradition between their teams that provided the context.
The Lakers and the Celtics,
Golly,
they
dude.
like each other. One was seen as a low post, grinded out, quote, quote, white team, and the other was seen as a Showtime, run it up, quote, quote, black team. And it kept fans
Two different
attracted
teams.
to it.
Two different styles.
Like Athens and Sparta, you had the absolute glitz capital of the world, and then an intellectual capital, a blue-collar town. It is the old world. And when the two of them clashed, it really felt like I missed out on World War II, so here's the closest thing I'm going to see.
Bird's Celtics and Magic's Lakers met in the finals 3 times. In their first clash in 1984, Boston trailed 2-1 after dropping Game 3 by 33 points. Bird was furious in defeat.
Damn.
We just play like a bunch of women tonight. We got some great players on this team, but we don't have the players with the heart sometimes that we need. Until we get our hearts where they belong, we're in trouble.
He knew we were going to respond.
Heck is that? Bird and his band of sissies.
He knew we were going to respond. Now, guys, let's relax, go out and take care of business. And we did.
Behind a re-energized Boston team, Bird averaged 28 points and 16 rebounds over the rest of the series, as Boston won the title in 7 games.
Nice.
Magic and the Lakers rebounded to beat Bird's Celtics in the 1985 and 87 finals. In 37 NBA duels, Magic held a 22-15 edge over Bird.
Damn. I'm sorry for pausing so much, but so you mean to tell me the best season Larry Bird had, though, 76, right? 76 and 7, or 80, or 85 and 6, or 86 and 7. Magic won the year they had that amazing record and all that stuff.
NBA duels, Magic held a 22-15 edge over Bird. But behind their on-court battles, the two started to let their guards down as early as 1984.
The commercial.
For a Converse sneaker commercial.
I heard Converse made a pair of Bird shoes for last year's MVP.
Yep.
When they made a pair of Magic shoes for this year's MVP.
Okay, Magic, show me what you got. A lot of people see Magic and they see this big Showtime and all this stuff, but I didn't see any of that.
This is awesome, though.
I seen the real Magic Johnson.
In between the takes, we get a chance to talk. And the dialogue is going great, because this is really the first time we got a chance to talk to each other.
We were just sitting there talking about everything in the world instead of basketball.
They couldn't even get us back out on the court to shoot the commercial.
Actually, that day, I see him as Irvin Johnson, not Magic Johnson.
Guys, that's pretty awesome. That was the day that changed their friendship forever, is when they finally, comes to French Lick, Larry Bird's town, and Magic shows up, and they get to see the man, Irvin Johnson. He gets to see the man, Larry Bird, and they both connect, and they both have the same values, the same, respect for the game, respect for each other. And so, like, this is awesome that they changed their friendship. Like, two rivals, ultimate rivals, black, white, the media and all that stuff. But for them to, like, squash all that and become friends in the end is awesome, because the respect they had for each other in the game is the reason why they hated each other on the court. But that's also the reason why they loved each other off the court, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That is awesome. Guys, we're going to end it there. This is part 3. We're going to do part 4 pretty soon. I'm so glad I'm doing this documentary, because there's a lot more to it than I've noticed of all the other videos I'm watching and all that stuff. This is cool. Guys, if you want to see more, just put it in the comments for me to react to. And I love you guys. I will see you guys next time. Peace.